25 years in real estate, $6 billion in sales, and $900 million sold last year alone. If I could go back and give my younger self one piece of advice, it would be this: stop hedging your bets. Because here's what I've learned after watching thousands of agents enter this business. The ones who make it aren't the most talented, they're not the most connected, but they are the ones who went all in. Not the agents building a career on nights and weekends, not the ones keeping one foot in their day job, but the ones who are fully dedicated and committed. I know that's not necessarily the safe answer, but after watching 87% of new agents quit within 5 years, I've learned something that is truly critical. The safe approach is actually the riskiest one, because when you half-step your way into real estate, you're not reducing risk, you're guaranteeing mediocrity. In this video, I'm breaking down why going all in is the only real path to success in this business, how to do it without being reckless, and what separates the 13% who thrive from the 87% who quit. If you're serious about making it in real estate, stay with me. Number one, you can't build a career on leftover energy. Here's what most aspiring agents tell themselves: I'll keep my job and do real estate on the side until I build momentum. Sounds smart, right? Test the waters, reduce the risk. But here's the problem with that. Real estate doesn't work on leftover energy. Your best hours go to your day job. Your sharpest focus gets spent before you make a single call. By the time you're done with your 9 to 5, you're trying to build a business with whatever is left over. That's not a strategy, that's a recipe for burnout. And here's what nobody talks about. Your network knows you're hedging against yourself. Clients sense it, referral partners feel it, and when you're splitting attention between two careers, people don't take you seriously. Why would they refer their biggest transaction to someone treating real estate as a simple side hustle? This is why 70% of licensed agents didn't sell a single home last year. Not because they weren't capable, but because they never fully committed themselves. They were building a career with leftover time, leftover energy, leftover focus. And in this business, which is super competitive, leftover effort gets leftover results. Top performers, on the other hand, they understand something different. Real estate at this level demands obsession, not just a casual interest. You can't show up part-time and expect full-time results. You can't give 50% and compete with people that are giving 110%. So ask yourself this: are you treating real estate like a career or like a side project? Because the market will answer that question for you, whether you like the answer or not. Number two, position yourself in the right ecosystem before you take that leap. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow with no plan. That's not bold. That would be stupid. Before you go all in, be intentional about where you're going to learn. Most new agents go solo immediately. They get their license, they hang it at a discount brokerage, and then they try and figure everything else out on their own. For the next 2 years, they fumble in the dark, they learn lessons the hard way, they make mistakes, it costs them deals, relationships, but most importantly, it costs them their credibility. That's the slow path, and most people don't survive it. Now, the smart path: position yourself with people who are already winning. Work on a top agent's team and assist someone who's crushing it. Join an elite brokerage where you can absorb the system, the language, the relationships, and the positioning. Because the knowledge, the connections that you gain when you're in the right environment will give you a decade head start over agents learning everything the hard way. When I started in the industry, I didn't just get my license and hope for the best. I spent years learning residential at 15 in London. Then I moved to the commercial industry before I ended up moving to Los Angeles when I was 21. By the time I went all in, I knew what worked. I understood how deals got done, and that preparation for me made all the difference. So before you go ahead and quit, position yourself in an ecosystem that sets you up to win, because going all in with the wrong foundation is just as bad as not going in at all. Number three, prepare before you leap, then leap. When I decided to go all in on real estate, my wife was 8 months pregnant with our second child. Risky? Absolutely. Reckless? I don't think so, because I didn't quit on a whim. I'd spent years in the industry, built relationships, understood the market, and I saved a financial cushion for myself. Here's the difference. Reckless is quitting with no savings, no plan, no understanding in the business. Being bold is doing the hard work up front and then making the full commitment when you are ready. I lived within my means. I saved an emergency fund. I didn't put myself in a position where I was desperate and making poor decisions out of being in fear. That safety net then gave me the freedom to be aggressive in my business without being reckless with my family's future. You want to be in a position where you can say yes to the right opportunities, but also say no to the wrong ones. Where you can be patient when needed, but also move fast when it matters. You can't do that if you're broke and panicking. So before you quit, ask yourself this: do I have enough saved to survive 6 months? Do I understand how this business actually works? And do I plan for generating income in month 1? If the answer is no, don't quit yet, prepare first. But once you're ready, commit fully. Because the biggest mistake that I see people making isn't taking the leap, it's taking the leap without preparing for the landing. Number 4, the safe narrative is actually the riskiest path. We're taught to keep one foot in the door, hedge our bets, play it safe, but that safe approach is what keeps most people stuck. Think about the people who changed industries. Look at Jeff Bezos. He didn't build Amazon on nights and weekends. He left Wall Street and went all in. Reed Hastings didn't start Netflix as a side project. He quit stable roles and poured his capital into his vision. Howard Schultz didn't grow Starbucks while keeping his corporate job. He left security to pursue it fully. None of these people played it safe. They prepared and then they committed. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If a split-focused, half-committed approach didn't work for them, why would it work for you? The agents who dominate their markets aren't the ones who dabble in that market. They're the ones who go all in. They show up every day. They make the calls. They build systems. They invest in their own growth and outwork everybody else around them. You cannot do that with one foot out of the door. So the question isn't whether going all in is risky. The question is whether you can afford not to. Because staying in a job that you don't love, building a business that you're not committed to, and wondering what if for the rest of your life, that is the real risk. Number 5, what made the difference for me? Starting Bond Street Partners 13 years ago, building Harrison Partners, now creating Breezy to help agents scale. It's been the ride of my life. But here's what's made it all possible. I didn't just commit to real estate, I committed to doing it right. I lived within my means, so I wasn't desperate. I saved an emergency fund so I had breathing room, and I positioned myself with the right people so I could learn fast. When I was ready, I went all in with no looking back. That combination of preparation and commitment is what separates agents who build careers from the ones who flame out in a year or 2. And here's the thing, you can do the exact same thing. You don't need 6 billion in sales. You don't need to be on TV or have a following. You just need to prepare strategically, save your safety net, and then fully commit to building something real. The objective isn't just getting your license, it's still being in the business and thriving years from now when 87% of your peers have moved on. And that only happens when you go all in. One of the reasons I scaled so quickly was building systems early. Most agents waste years of their life doing everything manually, chasing their leads, managing their follow-ups, juggling client communications across 5 platforms. It's not sustainable, and it's definitely not scalable. And that is the exact reason we built Breezy. To give agents infrastructure that they need to operate like a top producer from day one. It's a unified operating system that handles your CRM, your follow-up, your client management, and it's a workflow automation that lives in one place. You spend less time on admin and more time actually building your business. If you're serious about going all in, you need tools that can keep up with you. Link is below in the description, and here's the bottom line. The play it safe mentality makes you feel comfortable. But you know what's actually impressive? It's having the conviction to bet on yourself, making the full commitment and protecting your family while pursuing your ambition with everything you've got inside of you. If you're serious about this business, here's what you need to do. Prepare strategically, save your safety net, position yourself in the right ecosystem, and build the systems that will actually support you. And then go all in, no looking back, because the difference between agents who make it and agents who don't isn't the talent, it isn't the connections, it's not market timing, it comes down to your commitment. It's whether you're willing to give this business everything you've got, or whether you're going to keep one foot out the door and wonder why you're not getting the results. The choice is yours. But if you want to be one of the 13% who are still standing 5 years from now, you already know what you need to do. Stop hedging your bets, stop playing it safe, start building the career you actually want, and you can start today.